What's up guys, Harris here, and this video is so long overdue, but it's been a long work in progress for the creation of this video anyway, so it seems appropriate. I've got just about everything that I want and need on my setup to have it where I have maximum productivity, maximum aesthetics, and just a complete setup altogether. So here it is, my full desk setup tour. If you've been around the channel since the summer, since July, you'll know that I actually built this whole thing pretty much from scratch on top of a motorized desk frame, and it's seriously awesome, and everything about my setup I pretty much love. Let's go ahead and check out everything about it, and I'll leave links to everything that I mentioned in the description of this video. Let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, so the tabletop itself is the homemade part. So everything up here was custom made, starting from some very kind of pathetic board from Home Depot and made into this. It's not perfect, but it is definitely good enough for my exact customizations, size, and a little bit of cable management underneath. So this tabletop sits on the motorized section itself. These are the legs, the base underneath, and that allows me to bring it up, bring it down to exactly where I want. So I can be sitting and working, standing and working, or somewhere in between, and it's honestly awesome. I didn't initially think I was going to use it that much, but truthfully, just being able to change things up if I want to sit on a stool rather than my chair, or whatever I want to do, having this customization option for height is awesome and definitely a good investment in my opinion. Now of course this wouldn't be a desk setup without some IKEA, so underneath is my cabinet drawer system. This is basically just where I store phones, SD cards, whatever, a bunch of batteries and cases. I have a lot of stuff in here. I initially had a vinyl wrap over the top of this, and when I tore it off, it did rip the cover. So that's why this is a little bit torn up right there, but it's still a good cabinet system, and because it's usually covered by my tabletop, it's not a big deal, and I'll eventually get around to fixing that, most likely. And then one last final IKEA item would be my chair, which is the Miller Berget, whatever. It's a white and black or a all black chair, like 60 bucks, super comfortable, and I really dig it. Now in terms of cable management, there is exactly one cable coming from underneath my desk, and that is plugged into my wall, and that is connected to two power strips which are hidden underneath my desk in the hollowed out area. This controls all of my USB outlets, my desk, my chargers. Everything is powered underneath and hidden, so cable management is pretty good with this setup. Now it's kind of hard to say what exactly my favorite feature of this desk is. It's somewhere between the fact that it's totally personalized and spec'd out for my room, and the fact that I have this setup, which I absolutely love, and for productivity, it is awesome. Alright, let's take a look at it. Okay, so behind me is my MacBook Pro 15-inch mid-2012 Retina. It will be upgraded this year, but for now, this is working and it's doing its job. And then behind it, I have two 22-inch 1080p monitors. They're nothing special, but they were affordable, and they have super slim bezels on the side. And I VESA mounted these together with a little T-stand that sits behind the computer. So basically, I can hide everything behind my MacBook. It kind of has a floating effect, and I absolutely love this. Now, these monitors actually weren't VESA mount compatible, so I just did Gorilla Glue on the back of the monitors to the adapters, and it works just fine. It's been holding up no problem. Now, because of this setup, I can use my keyboard on my MacBook, which is an awesome keyboard. I can use the trackpad on it, and then I can also use the mouse. So the mouse is the Logitech MX Master 2S. Comes in 3 colors, is about $85, and is probably the best you can get for editing, super ergonomic and customizable. The mouse pad is an aluminum one with some softer material for the surface itself, and I love it. It looks great and matches the aesthetic of the desk pretty well. So it's an incredibly productive setup, and really the more monitors the better. So when I'm editing, for instance, I have my main timeline on my MacBook display. I'll have my browser up on the left-hand display so I can see all my footage, what I can import and all that kind of stuff. And on the right display, I'll have messages, Chrome, whatever else I need to research, or maybe a TV show, or maybe some sports going on there. So I can really triple multitask and get a lot of things done. I like seriously love this, and I wouldn't change anything about it except some higher resolution displays once I get my new MacBook that can power a little bit more pixels. So to the left of all of this, I have a big accessory. Well, not in terms of size, but in terms of use. This is where I charge my Apple Watch, and then this has a lightning adapter, so I can charge my iPhone or an iOS device right here. Next to that is just a Duke thermos mug. To the right of that is a wireless charger, which I do use for my Android devices as well as my iPhone. To the side of that, I just have a cup filled with a bunch of different pens and markers. I do love my pens. 0.38mm is the way to go, and I don't really use anything else. So those are there. It's always nice to have for homework and doing stuff like that. Now behind my computer, I showed you some of the cables, and that's hidden behind. I also have just a USB hub and a microphone. Now behind that, I also have the Snowball Ice Microphone, which you can see right there. That's decent if I'm doing some voiceovers on the fly for some side projects or whatever. That's a good plug and play microphone. And behind that, I have an awesome aluminum headphone stand. I think it's really a staple for any setup. Just have a nice stand with my Beats Solo HD 3s, whatever they're called. They're like $200 and they're surprisingly good, especially with the W1 chip. I can get some really good sound quality, connection, and they work with all my Apple devices, no problems. So that's what I have on my desk itself, and everything is really organized and works well and pretty seamless. Now, of course, you probably noticed the colors behind me, and that's really the last piece of this puzzle that I was looking to get together. So this is the Life X Z strip, and it is a game changer. Now there's LED strips that you can get on Amazon that are single color that you can change with a remote, and then there are these Life X Z strips. They're absolutely awesome. So you can see that the app that they are controlled in, I can go in here and I can customize the color scheme. I can make it change, I can make it strobe, I can do whatever. So you can see that I can change the colors to really whatever I want, and I'm a big fan of how well it works. Now there's also an effects panel which you can go into here, and this will basically do different things with the colors. I can put it onto strobe mode, which will probably make you pass out, so I won't do that anymore. You can make it on the color cycle so that it will rotate through colors. You can put it on the candle flicker mode, which will mimic a candle pulsing, and you can kind of see that. There's a bunch of different modes here, so these Life X is honestly awesome. You can change it to any color, you can set it to schedules, you control it with your HomeKit. I absolutely love them, and I definitely recommend checking out Life X Z. They're not a sponsor, but they did send these out, and I love them. They're awesome, and they're so much better than regular strips. But yeah, that's about it. So like I said, the whole premise of this is super custom for my room. I designed the main board to fit exactly to the corner of my room. It's a standing desk, so I can be sitting or standing with this IKEA chair that I have. My monitor setup is super convenient and practical and productive. I have everything I need to charge wirelessly or wired. Pencils, pens, microphones, headphones. I love my setup, and I really wouldn't change anything about it at this point. But I want to know what you guys think of this setup. If you like it, dislike it, anything you would change or modify, let me know. I'm open to any suggestions. I'll leave links to everything down in the description. If you enjoyed, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe. And hopefully I'll get back on the train of making videos. Alright, I'll catch you guys in the next one.